shades of joy in every row. Come on down, we'll show you how what's fresh and green is growing now. At Bob's Market, we've got it all, from garden dreams to greenhouse halls. Catch the buzz, catch the show, where the best of the season grows. Tomatoes ripe, peppers bright, tips for keeping blooms in sight. Let's make your backyard glow. Tools and plants, advice for free. Bob's is where you want to be. At Bob's Market, we've got it all, from garden dreams to greenhouse halls. Catch the buzz, catch the show, where the best of the season grows.
Hello, and I am back after a 3-week hiatus. And well, to be truthful, a vacation. Um, yeah, I have been on a bit of a vacation over the last 3 weeks. And after this spring, it was a much needed vacation. Um, but part of it was a little bit of work too. So while I was on vacation, I shot some video. And I am in the process of contacting a few places to get permission to use the video I shot. It's one of those sort of do it and ask permission later sort of things. um, I shot the video mainly for myself, for the memories, but to be able to use it here on Bob's Live, I just want to cover my bases and, do the right thing and ask permission before I use it for commercial use. So, yeah, I'm going to take care of that. But there is some things that I filmed completely out in public that can be shared. And let me share where I went. So, my wife and I, we went on a trip to California. And this is one of the locations that I can share, or well, it's down here, I guess. This is in Henry Cowell Redwoods State Park, and it is a beautiful park. We went on like an 8-mile hike that day, and this is one of the shorter hiking trails in the park. It's only like I think a mile long loop trail that takes you into kind of this redwood grove, and the largest redwood there is like 300 feet tall. I mean, just a massive tree. But then we went up this hike that takes you up this mountain up to a peak where you can see for just miles and miles. And got some really great video and photos to share from that. And there's just some really great information there. Of course, there's two types of giant trees out in California, and I've got photos to share and video of both of them. Of course, there's the redwoods, and then you have the sequoias. So the sequoias, those are the really, really big trees. And I've been to Sequoia National Park before, and I've been to Yosemite National Park before. But this year, my wife and I, we went back to Yosemite because we wanted to visit some locations there that we haven't been to previously. And one of those is a sequoia grove that is at Yosemite. So I'm going to share that also in an upcoming video. So that's something that we can look forward to in the future. And a lot of stuff in this week's episode. I've got kind of a short episode this week because I just got back the other day from vacation, and literally this evening I am heading back out the door to Columbus, Ohio, because we have Cultivate this weekend in Columbus. So that is the huge horticulture industry trade show, and it's taking place Saturday through Tuesday. And I'm going to be sharing a lot of stuff from it over the weekend. So make sure you keep an eye on our Facebook page, our Instagram, and our X account, because I'm going to be posting on those constantly over the weekend and going live. And also on our website, I'm going to be doing kind of a live blog there, where I'm going to post kind of like an update every evening. So you can follow along with the trade show and everything there every evening. Also, this year at Cultivate, I'm going to be working with an organization that I've shared before here on Bob's Live called Seed Your Future. We do a lot of school tours here at Bob's, where we have high school groups come in, and Seed Your Future this year is doing a program for students and also educators at Cultivate. So I get to be a tour guide at Cultivate this year, doing a tour of the trade show. So I think that's going to be kind of cool and kind of a new experience for me as well, being a tour guide out there. So I'm going to be doing that on Tuesday, and I'll make sure to take some pictures and maybe some video of that to share as well. So yeah, I've got a busy weekend ahead of me. Before I go though, a couple other updates. Up first, let's take a look at the weather, because it has been blooming rainy lately. I got home, it was like 3 a.m. Saturday morning. I slept in Saturday, obviously, after being up, since like 4 a.m. Friday, flying back across the U.S. Let me find my mouse here and get it over to the weather website. Of course, you can find this over on our website at bobsmarket.com under the More page. We've been having these pop-up storms like every afternoon. So pretty much every evening when I've got home, it's been rainy. And then after being gone for 3 weeks, I basically had to bail my yard. Usually it takes me about an hour and a half to mow my yard. It took me like 3 hours to mow my yard the other night. So yeah, I've got grass up to my eyebrows. Luckily my garden fared pretty well. I've got some garden cleanup to do, but I'm going to be able to recover it. It's going to look pretty good. Right now we do have a flood watch that's been issued, and that's just because of all the storms that we've been having. So with all the rain and everything, there is a flood watch in effect, and that's just for flash flooding. Where we've been having these downpours, you might have a flash flood come through. So if you're in an area with a downpour, just keep an eye out for flash flooding. And remember, just don't drive through a flash flood. It only takes a few inches of water to make a vehicle buoyant enough to float away. And yeah, looking at our frost countdown there, we're right at about the 3-month mark until our first frost of the season. And right now it's a good time to get out in the garden. And if you have any lingering spring crops, I know I've got some cabbages right now that I need to go out and harvest. And I've got some peas that I left right before we went on vacation that I came back and the heat that we had just kind of melted them. They're toast now. So I've got some areas that I need to clean out and replant. So that's kind of a project for when I get back from Cultivate. And also, right over here, the Keep Growing podcast. Last few episodes of the podcast, I was gone on vacation, so I pre-recorded them, which meant no weather forecast for the podcast, I tried to do the weather, of course, right now during Bob's Live. And then on Friday evening, I try to do another updated forecast specifically for the weekend, because I know a lot of you get out in the garden on the weekend. Since I'm back to recording the podcast right before it goes out, we'll have a forecast in this week's podcast and the next few weeks up until August 4th. So here's the deal. I was going to be having surgery on my wrist, not this Friday, but next Friday. That ended up being moved to August 4th. So we're going to have a few more episodes of Bob's Live, a few more podcast episodes, and then maybe some pre-recorded ones. It's just carpal tunnel. Luckily, I don't need my left hand to record the podcast. So hopefully it won't interrupt it. I might pre-record an episode and have it in the hopper just in case. I don't know. I feel like I'm starting to ramble. I don't want to keep things going too long here this evening. So, that being said, I'm back. Keep an eye out this weekend for me going live at different events at Cultivate. There's different things, like on Saturday evening, I believe. I should have pulled up a schedule. Let me find the schedule here. Oh, well, that's taking too long to load. Planner. Schedule. Okay, so Saturday evening, we have the Ohio State University Cultivar Trials from 4:30 to 7:30. I'll probably go live there. I'll probably do that through either Facebook or Instagram, possibly. And then on Monday evening, 5 to 7:30 is Franklin Park Conservatory, and I usually try to go live there for a few minutes. So both of those locations I'll go live. And then on Sunday, usually I upload a big old Instagram panel of a lot of the new variety photos. So those are 3 things that you can keep an eye out for definitely over the weekend. But then I'm planning on posting a bunch of other stuff. So just keep an eye out for those things over the weekend. And then also on our website, on the blog. I'm going to do a blog post, and it'll be one blog post that I'll post this Friday, but it's going to update kind of every day. So kind of at the end of the day, I'm going to sit down and add like a new paragraph and embed some social media posts and things like that into it also. So it'll get additional things added to it each day. So, yeah, that'll be ways that you can keep up with me as I go to Cultivate this weekend. And, well, that is all that I have for this week's episode of Bob's Live. And until next time, keep growing.
Got it all, from garden dreams to greenhouse halls. Catch the buzz, catch the show, where the best of the season grows.